Yeah, I'm just excited about pitching. I mean, I've been throwing the ball pretty well the last couple months, and just to get out there every 5th day, I mean, no matter who it's for, I'm excited to be out there. But to be pitching in front of this crowd and have a home jersey on, it's going to be something special.
Welcome to the ballpark. Welcome to Busch Stadium. It is the finale of this set with the Cincinnati Reds. The Cardinals 4 games up in the Central Division, try to win this rubber game. Welcome back to the booth. I'm Joe Buck along with Al Raboski. So you're Jamie Wright. You moved from Milwaukee to St. Louis. You're right in the middle of a pennant chase. And here you are trying to get things corrected on the mound. He said there he's been throwing the ball better the last 2 months. They even expect better things from him over the next couple of weeks. He's got it all laid out in front of him. What a golden opportunity if you're Jamie Wright.
Absolutely, Joe. And here you got to remember, too, he's a potential free agent. So Jamie Wright has an opportunity to audition for a first-place club. He's got that many more scouts watching a first-place club, and he has a huge upside. The ball really moves. He's got a lot of ability, and there's one other thing. He seems that he really wants to learn, and he really wants to learn from Dave Duncan.
You know what I like? I like a guy that comes up or comes to a new team and isn't afraid to say he's excited and isn't hiding the fact that he's wide-eyed and enjoying himself, and he's obviously excited about this start.
And I don't care how old you are or how much experience. Anytime that you come to the ballpark and feel that you can't learn anything, that's wrong. He realizes he's got a great opportunity. He wants to make the most of it.
It'll be a visit with Albert Pujols on the other side of the break. Another look at Jamie Wright getting it cranked up and tuned up for tonight's start against the Reds. See, look, Al, just look how he's signing autographs and flipping it back. I just don't think he's right. Anyway, Dan McLaughlin earlier tonight sat down with Albert Pujols. Here's what he had to say.
Well, Joe, thank you very much. Here with Albert Pujols. And Albert, in many ways, you're putting together a better sophomore year than you did your first year. Have you thought about it in those terms at all?
No, really. I mean, just thinking about right now, you know, just play the game hard the way I know how to play and go out there and have fun like I did last year. You know, I mean, I think I'm going to have plenty of time after the season, you know, to think about why I've been doing, what I has done the last 2 years. You know, right now I just try to do the best I can to help my team and, you know, and keep that first play going, hopefully, you know, until the end of September.
You know, a lot of people talk about the most valuable player, the MVP in the National League. Your name is getting brought up. Have you thought about it much?
I appreciate about that, you know, there are a lot of people talking about it, but I ain't even thinking about, you know, right now I just thinking about winning. That's more important to me, you know, helping my team to go to the postseason, you know, hopefully go a little bit longer than we did last year, you know, and right now I ain't thinking too much about that MVP type of thing, you know, I just try play the game, you know, and see the ball and hit it.
This has been such a hard year for the team, and you're looked at as a team leader. How do you approach that role with this particular team that's gone through so much?
It has been pretty tough, you know, but good things that we've been doing is picking each other up, you know, and helping each other, and that's the only way we can survive all this that happened this year to us, and that's why we've been playing pretty good ball right now, because everybody's picking each other, or, you know, and kind of be as a group, and instead of being everybody doing their own team, you know, everybody just organize, you know, and be together, you know, and that's the only way we're going to go through the whole season, you know, because we're never going to forget Jack Buck and Daryl Kyle, you know, our teammates. I mean, it's been a tough season to us, but we still got 1 month left of the regular season, hopefully be in the playoffs.
This guy's going to be the MVP here in St. Louis. It's Albert Pujols. Back with Cardinals baseball in just a moment.
Cardinal baseball on Fox Sports Net, brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By your local Chrysler and Jeep dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Cardinals on Fox Sports Net. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, St. Louis's #1 choice for tires and automotive service. By Pennzoil, protection under the toughest conditions. And by Southwest Airlines, bringing people together with low fares. Bob Boone, manager of the Cincinnati Reds, brought these people together. Not with low fares, but he did this, as we show it to you thanks to Southwest Airlines. Walker, Larkin, Dunn. Boone in the middle with Branyan, Jose Guillen, Reggie Taylor, Jason LaRue, and Ryan Dempster. I like that music. Our Chrysler Jeep pitching matchup. The Cardinal half is making his second start as a Redbird, Jamie Wright.
And he's 1-0 as a Redbird, and that's important here at home. Joe, we don't even want to tell you the numbers that Jamie Wright brings into this game when he was a visiting player, because he's winless and an ERA nearly 9.
That was facing the Cardinal lineup.
Facing the Cardinal lineup.
Now he represents this Cardinal organization tonight, wearing number 23. A number worn by Ted Simmons, another number worn by Bernard Gilkey.
Two pretty good guys wearing that number, what they did in their Cardinal career. So see what Jamie does. You know, Jamie has been having a little more success throwing a sinker and a cutter to the left-handed batters.
Up the middle, they had him played perfectly. Now all those charts, all that writing, the colored pens, the pencils, the lines, the compasses, the protractors, it worked. Our Around the Horn is brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tino Martinez at first, Fernando Vina is at second base. Across the way, Albert Pujols is at third base tonight. No Roland. Renteria is the shortstop, and out in the outfield, Marrero in left, Edmonds in center, and J.D. Drew second night in a row in right. DeFelice does the catching for Jamie Wright. With one out, Larkin takes strike one. Barry last night had a couple of hits, including a one-out double in the bottom of the first inning. Driven in by a 2-out RBI double by Aaron Boone, and that was all the scoring the Reds would do all night. A 3-1 victory. Cardinals made it 2-1 in their half of the third inning and held on, added a run in the eighth, and it was good enough for outstanding pitching throughout, front to back. With one out, Larkin pops it up. Eli Marrero pulls in out number 2.
Good start for Jamie Wright, and Eli, a very versatile player. But we want to highlight when somebody's going to catch a ball with 2 hands. It's not cool by today's standards, but it's still the way to play the game.
It's hip to be square, Al. That's what Huey Lewis taught me in my formative years. Adam Dunn slices one into the corner. He's not running, so it must be foul. So that's strike one. You know, you talked about it, touched on it with the outstanding movement that Jamie Wright has on these pitches. I was watching the game from Wrigley in his first start. I mean, he was at 94 miles an hour on the radar gun, and everything had a nice tilt to it. You could see where his mechanics can get out of whack at times. As Dunn breaks his bat, it's a long run. Can Drew get there? Yes. He covered a lot of ground. And so far, so good for Jamie Wright. Now what's his ERA at Busch Stadium? Figure it out. He's speechless. No score after a half. Hoping to win this series against Cincinnati before a much needed and well-deserved day off tomorrow. Cardinals bat their Southwest Airlines starting lineup. Vina, Drew, and Edmonds, who drove in all 3 last night. Pujols, Martinez, and Renteria in the middle. Eli Marrero, Mike DeFelice, and Jamie Wright pitching and batting ninth. How could you possibly lose with that music? Let's go around the horn. It's brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Ranyan is at first, Todd Walker at second, Aaron Boone at third. Barry Larkin is the shortstop. Dunn is out in the outfield and left. Reggie Taylor in center. No Griffey again tonight. Jose Guillen is in right. And Jason LaRue does the catching for Ryan Dempster. The other half of our Chrysler Jeep pitching matchup itself.
7-13 on the year. This is his 11th start with the Reds. Remember, he came over from Florida to help these guys out. Has not pitched particularly well for the Reds, but better his last 2 outings.
Let's see how Mr. Vina wants to start it. He had a hit 4 trips here last night. In on the corners of the infield for Cincinnati as Vina takes a strike.
14 hits in the last 12 games. Been reaching base a little more frequently, whether it's being hit by pitches or an occasional walk. Tony trying to emphasize to him that he's got to hit down on the ball.
Our Ford dealers key matchup, career against Ryan Dempster. Green is happy to see this right-hander now with Cincinnati. Ball and 2 strikes.
Ryan Dempster is one of the guys that everybody talked about a few years ago, one of the rising stars in the National League, but I think he's kind of hit a brick wall.
There was a while there that the Cardinals were talking to the Marlins about making a deal for one of their starters, and Dempster was the name that was talked about the most, mainly on the part of the Marlins. A lot of the Cardinals were unimpressed with Dempster, and the Cardinals shied away from the deal. That's in foul territory, and Aaron Boone, he's got good lungs and a loud voice, and he screams and scares LaRue and makes the catch. 1 out. You can join the Cardinals down the stretch to the playoffs in a different way by subscribing to Cardinals Game Day magazine. Simon Tachi, Chuck Finley come at you from the cover, while inside you'll catch all the news on Ozzy's trip to the Hall of Fame. 982-7336. 982-7336. Here's JD, and there's a ball up and away. One of the rare times the Cardinals had everyone present and accounted for in their lineup last night, and they scratched out a 3-1 win.
And Scott Rowland getting a little time off tonight, or it would have been 2 consecutive games. Everybody's got nagging injuries at this time of year.
How about you? You all right?
Nagging injuries.
Feel good?
I'm trying to make the lineup card.
3 balls, no strikes with Edmonds on deck.
There's Scott Rowland.
And a 4-pitch walk.
Scott hadn't hit that well against Dempster, so it was perfect time to rest him.
Our virtual manager question, which you can vote now, foxsports.com. Who should the Cardinals try hardest to sign? How about E? All of the above. That is easily answered in my world. That's the guy right there.
Yeah, in my world, that's right. If I can't have all the above, that's number 1.
Can't make a trade of that size and give up some younger players and then not keep an everyday player like Scott Rowland. That will be their number 1 priority.
And Joe, I think that from all indications, Scott is very, very happy with what has transpired with this ball club and this city and his new fans.
1 ball, 1 strike. Last night in his first at bat, Edmonds fell a little short of a home run into left. His next time up, the Cardinals led 2-1. And we're never headed.
26th home run of the season.
On 1-1. A little late. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Dempster won 29 ball games the last 2 years for Florida, 14 and then 15 a year ago. He's a free agent at the end of the season. And I think we're all not quite sure what Florida's doing other than trying to save money.
That is a franchise that is a mess. Edmonds strikes out. Dempster pulled the string. That's out number 2, and Pujols will walk to the plate.
He has the 4 basic pitches, and there you see the downward action, keeping it down and away from him. Had him out in front. Sinker, got the slider, curveball, changeup. You know, he was born in British Columbia.
Dempster.
Yeah.
That is an exciting tidbit.
And currently he is the only Canadian-born starter in the National League.
Really? Now you had to say starter because of Real Cormier.
No, because Rietsma, remember, he's his own teammates in the bullpen now.
Cormier too.
Cormier, but
say no.
He's the only current starting pitcher in the major leagues born in. Native Canadian.
Wow.
That's hard to believe. See, I said British Columbia.
You didn't want to say scout. Two balls, no strikes on Pujols, who has hit 32 home runs. And by the way, all you fans that are watching on satellite from Schelt, British Columbia, I'm just kidding. Of course I know how to pronounce the name of your city. We'll save that for later on tonight. Drew is on with a 1-out walk. He's at first with 2 out. And Ryan Dempster, is behind on the count to Albert Pujols, 2-0. On the inside corner, good pitch, 2-1. They actually play Albert to hit it the other way. Quite a bit. Left center field is wide open, and I've seen Albert put the ball there quite a bit.
Yes, you have.
1 on, 2 out. That's into right center. It's not going to be caught either. And over to third goes Drew. Another hit for Pujols, who adds to his .305 average, and it's first and third, 2 out.
Well, Albert had a 10-game hitting streak stopped on Monday night, but it doesn't take him long to get things going once again. It's only his second hit in the series, 2 for 8. You know, it's so good for a young player and a young power player. He's not afraid to hit the ball to all fields.
Well, if this inning is to evolve into something productive, it's going to be up to Tino Martinez, who has driven in 61 runs. His average at .261 last night. Had some good swings, and let's see if Tino can carry that over to tonight against Dempster. Ball 1. Jamie Wright had about as quick and easy a first inning as any Cardinal pitcher has had of late. And that's what Martinez has done with 2 outs in this situation, a runner in scoring position. It's 2-0 with Renteria on deck.
Jason LaRue out to talk to Dempster. Looks like Dempster doesn't want to talk too much. He also wanted to turn his back so the hitter couldn't read his lips.
Drew drew a walk with 1 out, went to third, and a 2-out hit to right center by Pujols, who introduces himself to Russell Branyan. And Tino Martinez waits for something to hit on 2-0. How about home run number 16? Would that be a nice way to start tonight? Every broadcaster tries it, and about 3 times a year it works. 2 balls and a strike.
Tino has hit .312 over his last 27 ball games, and part of that success has been going out there and plugging that left center field gap.
Yet they play him to pull.
And pitching away.
Popped up. And that should end the inning. Jason LaRue. This is Branyan calling off LaRue. Earlier it was Aaron Boone calling off LaRue. Why is everybody yelling at LaRue? I got it. You take it. No score after 1. Cardinal fans, you can take the field just like the Cardinals. Register at participating Shop and Save locations at the Nabisco display for your chance to take the field with the Cardinals before a Sunday home game. The Nabisco Shop and Save Kids starting lineup. Aaron Boone bats cleanup for this team and takes ball 1 from Jamie Wright, who faced 3 in the first inning. The Cardinals left 2 in their half of the first. No score. couple of pretty good pitches. 2-0. Umpires have told the Cardinals and anybody else who will listen over the past couple of weeks that they've gotten a directive from Major League Baseball to keep the strike zone tight, side to side. And then you read about Bob Watson trying to get the games to be 45 seconds quicker. The two just don't make sense. Call strikes, it goes faster. Don't call strikes, it takes longer.
I totally agree, Joe. The quickest way to speed up the game is to call strikes.
A 4-pitch walk. Let's go to Dan McLaughlin with Mizzou Athletic Director Mike Alden.
All right, Joe and Al, thank you very much. And Mike, first of all, still riding high from this weekend?
Yeah, very much so. I'll tell you, Dan, it was a great weekend for Mizzou, and nice, very nice win over Illinois.
What does that do as far as the recruiting process for the University of Missouri and establishing what Gary Pinkel is doing?
I don't think there's any question from a recruiting standpoint. He's made a tremendous impact throughout the state of Missouri and really in this part of the country. But when you have a win like that, particularly in an area that's so important to you in recruiting in the St. Louis metropolitan area, it can help but elevate your stock and make you that much more aware of the top flight kids in the area. So it should help us quite a bit.
I bet your phone was ringing off the hook over this weekend at the start of this week. I mean, what a huge win that was for your program.
Very much so. I think, from our fan standpoint, we're so happy for them. We got such great fans at Mizzou, and to be able to have a win like that and to see their enthusiasm not only during the game but of course after the game, I think they were having a good time. It was great.
How about Gary Pinkel in his second season and what he is starting to do in getting that program into the right direction?
Well, as you know, Dan, we extended his contract before the season started this year, and all the indications are is everything that he's been doing is exactly what we want being done at Missouri. And to be able to start off his second year with a win like that further validates, what we believe about him as a coach and what's going on with his staff and our system. We're very strong in our beliefs on what he's going to be doing for the program. And again, I think this is a good evidence that we're heading in the right direction.
Now, another guy that's headed in the right direction, and you had to keep him at the University of Missouri, is Quinn Snyder. And I know fans were curious to see what was going to happen with that situation, but I know you're going to be pleased to see him back.
Oh, there's no question, Dan. And obviously Quinn, fairly well and working with us. And we're so pleased with him. I mean, I really enjoy working with Quinn personally and professionally, and I know how much he's already doing for our program. I know our fans are excited that he's committed at Missouri for a long time. We're excited, and I think that there are even much better days ahead. Even with an Elite Eight run that we had this year, I think we could have some really positive days ahead there.
And when we're talking with football as we wrap it up, we're expecting 4-0. Now, we want nothing less than 4-0 going into conference play.
Listen to you. Now, come on, one at a time, man, one at a time. But, with us being able to take care of business on Saturday, I think as we just take them one at a time, certainly, hopefully those wins will take care of themselves. I know a lot of our fans are saying, boy, this is a great opportunity to maybe go against Oklahoma as being undefeated. But what we want to do, let's get them to Columbia on Saturday night, be able to see us take on Ball State and just get one win at a time. But certainly, we're excited about the prospects that lie ahead.
I just had to put a little pressure on you. Don't worry about it, Bill.
I know that, Dan. I know it.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You bet. That is Mike Alden. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Mike. Come on, Jamie Wright, throw a strike. He walked the leadoff man Boone, and he's behind on the count to Branyan, who is hitting only .250, but when this guy connects, he can hit him as far as anybody.
You're talking about it, Joe. He's got a 3-game hitting streak, 3 for 9 during that time, with just 3 hits in his last 35 at-bats.
It does not take Dave Duncan or a seasoned pitching coach to see when Jamie Wright gets his mechanics out of whack.
And it seems like he has the most trouble with the left-handers. And sometimes he's trying to throw that ball out away from him, but he just lets it fly too far out and just doesn't have command of it. That's where they've been a little excited of late. He said he's had better success retiring left-handers with a cutter coming in on him.
To the left side, Pujols will fire to second. Good play by Vina. And then he rests on the lower back of Boone, and that might have hurt him. Boone taking out Vina. He took him out too well, and Vina came down and sat on his back.
Boone's been played in every game for the Reds. There he 3-1 tried to pull it and throws it right here, but throws it down. Not a good pitch at all to Vina, and there you see kind of slide takes him out, but it ends up coming down right on his hip or maybe even groin region. As it looked like he was holding that right side. Is it the left side? It's one or the other.
50-50 chance. Guillen takes ball 1 up and in. Well, that was a big out nonetheless to get Branyan. And when you see Albert Pujols make a throw like that, you have got to remind yourself that the guy just hadn't played a lot of third base. And it's amazing that he plays as well as he does when he's called on to play third. Forget first. He's about as good a first baseman as you'll find when he gets a chance to play over there. That's too far inside. It's 2-0.
How about the other night when he had the play at first base? He was playing first base. Runner was at second base. I think it was Walker. And a ball was hit to him, and he threw him out at third base.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't do that for young players, and you have to anticipate. We've seen veteran guys that don't anticipate.
See if they do anything on the bases. Branyan stays put. That's too far outside. It's 3-0 with a left-handed hitting Reggie Taylor on deck.
It's one of the big advantages, too, getting Boone off the base paths with his 27 steals, putting Branyan on with just 2.
So Boone appears to be okay as a 3-0 pitch heads into Guillen. 3-1.
He's throwing a lot of pitches and pitching behind in the count.
Wright is making up for a quick and easy first inning.
More balls, 13, than strikes, 9.
What will this be on 3-1? They still don't start the runner. It's a strike and it's a full count.
Jamie's only 27 years of age, so he's starting to enter into his prime years as a pitcher. Father and son talking to each other. This guy's had an up and down career, hasn't he? Guillen?
No doubt. First coming up with Pittsburgh. Now the runner goes on 3-2 and a shot to right. That ball is not going to be caught. Branyan hesitated and will only make it to third. It's a double for Guillen. Second and third, 1 out. So a walk in the inning, a double in the inning. Jose Guillen goes the opposite way, and now it's second and third, 1 out for Reggie Taylor.
Seen some balls just jump over the heads of right fielders. I see Branyan running, but slowed up to make sure the ball got over the head of J.D. He was not going to catch up to that one, but even with the runner going on a double by Guillen, he could only get to third. We've seen all 3 games this series, balls have fooled right fielders. And the ball carrying extremely well. And he did come in on that ball.
Tell you, by coming in on that ball, though,
he fooled the runner.
He fooled Branyan and kept him from scoring. Not that it was intentional, but it had that effect. Now they'll intentionally walk Taylor and pitch to LaRue with the bases loaded. So Taylor, who's hitting .265 and who made the final out of last night's game, will walk down to first, and the bases are loaded for the former catcher's catcher, Jason LaRue.
Interesting, Bob Boone was talking about being a catcher on his team. Say he's tougher on them than any other position. He knows it well and probably more critical of what they're doing and calling pitch selection.
Defensively, they are shifted around to the right for LaRue, and on the infield, they're hoping for a sinker out of the hand of Wright and a ground ball to one of them to start an inning-ending double play. Like that, only fair. Strike 1. Bob Boone always had that bad mask. He always had that black, thick mask.
The real thick one.
He kind of missed that transition to the newer cage masks, and he kept his old thing. It's like Joe Theismann playing quarterback with that goofy face mask. even though the rest of the league had changed.
I can't remember. I always liked to see him at the plate.
Here's an 0-1. That is well hit into left center field. Edmonds will watch it go. Gone. Grand slam and a crusher by LaRue. They walk the bases loaded to get to Jason, and he hits a grand slam to make it 4-0 Reds. And the ball is without a doubt jumping here tonight.
It's only the 16th homer that Jamie Wright has allowed this year, and only his 3rd in his last 7 starts. Jason LaRue already had a career high in RBIs, and he adds to it. Yeah, ball and movement going down, but he dropped the bat head, caught it right, and didn't hit it that far into the seats, first row, but it's far enough.
Now Dempster grounds one to Vigna. 2 out. Yeah, really, there are mistake pitches, and then there are pretty good pitches that get hit out, and I think that's one from LaRue that falls into the latter category. It really wasn't a bad pitch.
Well, sometimes that ball down and in, you drop that bat head and they can get it right out there, and it's right in their wheelhouse. But it's not, as you always think of a home run pitch, being up and out over the middle of the plate.
Here's Todd Walker. He takes a strike. And bloops one into left for a 2-out hit. So now the 8th man to bat in the inning, Barry Larkin, will walk in. I'll say this, the home run ball that Jamie Wright gave to LaRue was not his worst pitch of the inning. He walked Boone leading off, fell behind Branyan, fell behind Guillen, intentionally walked Taylor. That's where the trouble came. And then LaRue burned the Cardinals with a grand slam. 1 on, 2 out. Larkin takes a breaking ball for a strike. Virtual manager question: who should the Cardinals try hardest to sign? We said Rolen. You said Rolen.
They said Rolen.
Overwhelmingly. If there were those kind of results on election night, there would have been no problems down in Florida. And you get the networks and everybody predicting. Then you have hanging chads. Walker's going, no chance for DeFelice, and this has been a wretched inning for Jamie Wright.
Walker at 5th stolen base in 10 attempts. Anytime you have someone as high and tall as Jamie Wright, they're going to be slow to the plate. DeFelice dropped it, but as you said, he had no chance.
So now a hit could make it 5-0. 4 runs and only 3 hits. And there's a hit. We'll have a play at the plate. Barrero comes up firing. Good throw. Bad tag by DeFelice as he dropped it, and it's 5-0. The ball bounced up a little on Mike DeFelice, and the hit by Larkin makes it 5-0 Reds. But they had a tremendous shot at Walker at the plate.
Boy, it seemed like he had plenty of time to catch it and then prepare for a collision or whatever. But the ball came up a little bit. He still got the forearm to the face. And with 2 outs, with Dunn coming up, they decided to send him, and he would have been out by plenty, but you got to hold on to the ball.
You could see where DeFelice was set up, expecting that bounce. And it shot off that grass and came up on DeFelice.
A lot of times, catchers will discard that mass because it gives them that much better vision. And now he gets it ripped off.
On the throw home, Larkin went down to second. And he's there with 2 out for Adam Dunn.
Gabe Molina, as recalled, September 1st, is now warming up.
Watch out for Adam Dunn. 3 out of 8 in this series, and a good breaking ball for a strike. Well, let's see if Jamie Wright can get it back together, and if his teammates can go after Ryan Dempster, who comes in with a 5.5 ERA and a 7-13 record. There's Molina. One ball, one strike. Dunn has driven in 68 at 25 home runs. Over but low, 2-1. Cardinals missed a chance in their first inning. The Reds have made the most of their chances here in the second.
Jamie continues to pitch behind in the count.
Took that one off the knee. That counts 3-1, and Jamie Wright is pitching his way out of this game because of lack of control.
It's also, you never know about where his spot is in the rotation.
Another walk. Third of the inning, and he's been behind just about everybody. This crowd's getting a little restless. So this could be an opportunity night for Gabe Molina, or will they stick with Wright to try to get Boone? Boone drew a walk to start this mess about 15 minutes ago.
Matt Morris threw today, and apparently everything was okay. He's scheduled to make a start on the road trip in Milwaukee. Garrett Stevenson has been informed that he will be pitching out of the bullpen when he is, he started on Monday. There's Matt. So we've got some extra guys, and it might be just an equation: who's pitched well, who matchups against what team.
One ball, one strike on Boone. I personally wouldn't mind seeing, and I know the Cardinals are far from having the division clinched. I mean, that's a long way off, but I wouldn't mind seeing Woody Williams get extra rest here and there. A 1-1 pitch to Boone with 2 on, 2 out. Popped up. Foul. And out of play.
Well, that'd be the nice situation, Joe, where, maybe to keep a couple guys on a 6-day rotation. 2 guys, say, like they can, back each other up, or if one guy has better success against one team, he starts, the other guy is in the bullpen.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Two and two.
We talk about a great opportunity for someone to display their wares. Well, it also can be a reverse trend too.
Well, halted right here. 2-2 pitch. Cardinals will have the Cubs in town over the weekend. Alan Bennis against Andy Bennis in the next Cardinal game, which will be on Friday night. And that game will be on Fox Sports Net. And Finley and Steve Smith on Saturday. Kerry Wood against Simon Tachi on Sunday. 2-2. I talked to Jason, by the way, and he prefers Simon Tachi instead of Tachi. So take that to the bank with you on Sunday. You here Sunday?
Yes.
Okay. It's our Bud Light What's on Tap. There's Garrett Stevenson and Simon Tachi. Both were eligible for the start. It'll be Simon Tachi, and that's a little squirter. Good play by Wright. And that ends the inning, but not before big damage is done. 3 walks in the inning, and a grand slam by LaRue. 5-0 Reds. The Chinook State in baseball history. We go back to 1928. The Boston Braves start a streak of playing 9 consecutive doubleheaders. It was also the Boston Braves team that had the record of consecutive home losses before the New York Mets reset that record for the National League at 15 games last night, blowing a lead late, losing in extra innings in game 1 of a doubleheader. Then they won the nightcap. So their home losing streak ended at 15 games. What a good play by Boone. He can do everything. That took probably a double away from Renteria, 1 out.
Well, Boone has done a great job. He's made 15 errors this year, but this is more indicative of how he's played defense. Remember, he slipped there when he tried to go to his right. It still makes the play. And early in the season, when he was really struggling offensively, it was this D is what kept him in the lineup. So Edgar robbed of a base hit here, and it took a good play. And remember, he was laid out at second base, feeling some effects around the midsection. Taken out at second base.
With 1 out, Marrero takes a strike. I promise you this, the Reds do not believe this game is tucked away at 5-0 in the second inning. A couple runs here and there would make the Cardinals feel a little better about things. 1 ball, 1 strike on Marrero, who was out of the lineup last night, but has been one of the hottest Cardinal hitters of late. 13 home runs now and 55 RBIs.
5-game hitting streak.
Oh.
421 during that time. And Tony and I were talking about Marrero. He's never seen him in such a groove right now.
He's had a lot of swings like that last one.
Sometimes he can get a little undisciplined, but right now he's seeing the ball and making good contact.
On 1 and 2. Marrero stays up there. And a souvenir for George Grant.
Nope, they're not doing TV, the Reds.
They're gone.
So there's a ball sitting there for someone. See, they don't even got monitors.
Tony's in there. Marrero goes up to get it, but it's going to fall short. Taylor in right center, 2 out. This fall, get your NFL fix a day earlier with the most outrageous, unpredictable NFL pregame show you've ever seen. The NFL Show on Fox Sports Net with Michael Irvin, Tony Siragusa, and comedian Tommy Davidson. Pregame shows may never be the same. Start your NFL weekend the night before kickoff with the NFL Show presented by the U.S. Postal Service, premiering Saturday on Fox Sports Net. Rams will be on here in St. Louis on Sunday as the late game, part of a doubleheader. Their opener at Denver, and the early game will be Minnesota at Chicago. There's Tony West operating our robotic camera. Now has a souvenir. That's a fair ball. That's the arm by Boone, and that's a base hit by DeFelice. So the Cardinals get their second hit of the night. And Boone did just about everything he could.
Yeah, he's well off the line, so this ball over the bag. Fields it in foul territory. The long throw, short hops. Russell Brandon can't hold on to it. Wasn't too sure he didn't grab his midsection or rib cage after he throws this ball. That's what we.
Here's Jamie Wright. There's ball 1. Well, that hit by DeFelice at least gets the pitcher's spot out of the way. Which, if Jamie Wright struggles next inning, can make it easier on Tony La Russa to make a pitching change as the left side is checked on again. Boone bobbles and the inning continues. That may be a hit.
You know, Joe, there's that rule of thumb that third baseman, anything he can get to, he takes. But in this case, laying back on that ball, he might have taken the easier play for the shortstop, Larkin. See, Larkin's ready to field it. He cuts in front of him, and then when they're so close, he tries to get his footwork under control, and he drops the ball.
It is an error, and it's 2 on with 2 out for Vigna. Well, watching on TV with the team in Chicago, looked like Vigna got into a couple of balls that just were hit right into the teeth of the wind as he tries to get his stroke back. To the right of the second baseman Walker, and that ends the inning. So the Cardinals strand 2 for the second consecutive inning, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, an error, 2 left. Boone's been busy. Reds lead by 5.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the program.
Body kind of reached up there and
Be lucky to get one. Good play. 1 out. Runner down to second, however, and the batter will be Taylor.
nice as Pujols coming in, but it's nice to see how DeFelice went down the third base line to go cover third base if the runner Brandon tried to come on from first to third. There are responsibilities. Same thing with Renteria. The shortstop went over towards third also.
See if Taylor can do something against Wright. The Reds are hoping for as he takes ball 1 low. And if you had to point to one thing that would be disconcerting about the effort tonight by Wright, is he's been behind just about every hitter, and there have been plenty of them since that quick and easy first inning.
It's virtually impossible to be successful pitching this way.
Guys can sit on pitches. Looked like Taylor had done just that. And a good play by Chip Carey, who's down there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
They had a day game today.
Branyan drew a walk. He's at second with 1 out. Taylor lifts a breaking ball. That's trouble. It's only Renteria's ball. He can't get there. Branyan goes back to second with horrible base running, and it's first and second. 1 out. That's a big play with 1 out. I don't know where Branyan, what he's thinking.
Could have been a lot worse, couldn't it? Branyan was more than halfway, and whether he just turned his head when he thinks he catches it right here and turns his back and goes back to second base. Watch him. Takes a secondary lead. Now he locates it. He's halfway. Why did he go back? The ball's in the ground.
So it's first and second. Still a chance for a double play ball, which the Cardinals were hoping for from LaRue when they walked Taylor to load the bases for him last inning. That's out number 2 in foul territory, and that's a big out with a pitcher coming up. 2 on, 2 out. And LaRue will need a new Wonder Boy next time he comes to the plate. That one was broken. Here is Ryan Dempster.
Dempster can swing the bat a little bit. He has 8 hits on the season and 3 RBIs, but Jamie should be able to get out of this third inning with no damage.
And he starts him with a strike. Cardinals in their half of this third inning will have the big bats, Drew, Edmonds, and Pujols. Be nice to keep it 5-0 and try to get back in this game. And Wright is on his way to making that a reality. 0-2. Goodbye. Inning over. And Wright gets around a leadoff walk and a blue pit. So here come the big guys trying to get something going in the bottom of the third with the Cardinals down by 5. This portion of Cardinal baseball on Fox Sports Net brought to you by Auto Tire. For the very best in tires and service, you ought to go to Auto Tire. And by Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. La gente. There's our robotic camera. And this is what it looks like when a ball is hit back toward it. Oh,
Man, Tony West didn't flinch at all.
Ethan, if you were running a robotic camera and you were looking through a little viewfinder and you saw that coming at you, even though you're, what, 90, 100 feet away, would you duck?
You mean he's up here in our level?
He's up here.
He's not behind that tarp?
He's not tucked under that tarp.
Not tucked under the...
Drew pops it up. Had a pitch to hit. He got under it. Walker, 1 out.
So you probably didn't know this, but Billy Caston from Jackson, Missouri, recently was first runner-up in the preteen scholarship and recognition program in Birmingham, Alabama. It's a national academic program, and Kelly is a proud member of the Cardinals Crew Club. So we want to say congratulations to Kelly. Nice going.
I did know that, though.
You know everything.
Here's Edmonds with 1 out. Jim struck out his first time. It's 5-0 Reds. And Dempster has hit the pause button. For what? I don't know. No idea why. But twice he looked in and twice he hopped out of it. Here we go. All 1.
Now, Dempster's going to be a free agent. He's only like 25 years of age.
A lot of free agents to be. Edmonds taking all the way. It's 2-0. There's no guessing when Jim Edmonds is taking a pitch. That last one, he was not prepared to swing, even if the ball came to the strike zone. Stopped. One of the bat boys ran out there, put a tee under it, set it on the tee, and said, "Here's swing." And it would have been one of those two, including Little Matheny. It's 3-0. He'll be taking, and it's a strike. What? Well, is it going to be a fat pitch on 3-1? What? Edmonds isn't going to swing at that no matter what. It's a full count.
Right. Right. Even with a 3-1 count, normally you're looking for a certain pitch or zone, and that was obviously not the spot you were looking for.
Ball 4 on a pitch that just missed high. Here we go, the longest promo in the history of television. College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera. Returns to Fox Sports Net this week with a triple header. First, the Fresno State Bulldogs take on these 15th ranked Oregon Ducks. Then San Diego State visits the 7th ranked Colorado Buffaloes. And in the nightcap, the Colorado State Rams battle the UCLA Bruins. Coverage begins Saturday with a College Football Saturday kickoff show at 10:30 a.m. Central, right here on Fox Sports Net. Here is Albert Pujols. What do you think? Number 33 in a 3-run game?
Boy, would that be nice. You need to get on the dent the scoreboard.
Literally.
Literally.
Just
dent
pop
the
one
scoreboard.
off that thing. Up to 306 with his average. 1 on, 1 out. Another base hit for Pujols, and he almost took Dempster with it. Ooh. He just hits rockets.
Want to move a couple pitchers out of the way. That ball, you just hope isn't at somebody, but right back up the middle and just far enough away from him that it can't do any damage.
I mean, that ball got past Walker before he could take the full step.
I remember a couple years ago or working a game with Dan, and he was talking about McGuire hitting a shot to a third baseman. And I said, Dan, look at the relationship between third base and the pitcher's mound.
Right.
And I said, the guy in the pitcher's mound is moving forward. He isn't stationary either.
With 2 on, Martinez takes a strike. Well, it's one thing that I talked about with Pedro Martinez after everybody started talking about the steroid issue earlier this summer. That's something that isn't talked about a lot, but if you're standing less than 60 feet away, somebody's juiced up and taking swings at pitches and hitting them back up the middle, your career and or life may be in danger.
I mean, then you're almost like charging a line drive, and sometimes you can see them and not react to them. Other times you don't see them and you do react and catch them.
Let's see if Tino Martinez can hit a line drive somewhere with 2 on and 1 out. To the right side and through. They are going to hold Edmonds wisely at third, and the bases are loaded. And Jose Guillen has always had a fantastic arm, and the bases are loaded.
Right, Joe, you have to be aggressive on the base paths, but you have to run under control. And as a fielder, all you have to do is charge that ball aggressively, and then that'll stop the runner. Ball sneaks through on the right side. Ian obviously charging and having his momentum behind him, and nobody's ever questioned his throwing ability.
Well, now here is Edgar Renteria. His grand slam came this year, and he has an opportunity here. The Cardinals down by 5. Just a little old hit would be nice. Ball 1. So let's see if the Cardinals can hop on Dempster, who has been anything but consistently in the strike zone tonight. Anything but totally effective since putting on the Reds uniform. 2-0 with the red hot Eli Marrero on deck.
Edgar is a money player. He 300 against both righties and lefties, 346 with runners in scoring position, 326 since the All-Star break. I'll take my chances.
Into left field, down the line. Grand slam, his second of the year, and it's a 1-run game.
Somebody's trying to take credit in that dugout for calling it.
Delgado.
Delgado was saying it, but I'm telling you, Edgar is a money player. And there, look at that ball. He pitched inside a couple times to him. This time he was ready. He opened up on it, and he turned on it.
How about the numbers for Renteria, who takes a curtain call? 10 homers, 69 RBIs, and an average of better than 300, and he has played lights out defensively.
Well, he is flat out the best all-around shortstop in the National League.
These guys liked it.
Just one swing of the bat got this team right back into this ball game. 5-4, and Jamie Wright's getting new life. Tino can't wait to get back up there.
Both bullpens are quiet as Marrero stands in.
Well, we could get the Cardinal bullpen going if they can extend this inning. They may pinch hit because it could be a scoring opportunity.
That would present itself if Marrero and or DeFelice do something. There's still only 1 out in the inning. Drew popped up, then a walk to Edmonds. 3 straight hits, culminating with a grand slam. And strike 2 on Marrero. Again, it's a small thing, and it's a rather obvious thing, but down 5-0. Good work by Jose Oquendo, the Cardinal third base coach, at not pushing things. Holding Edmonds at third on the hit by Martinez, and then a 2-0 pitch was ridden out of here by Renteria. Marrero stays alive.
Hey, Joe, how good a job has Oquendo been? Not just this year, but since he's taken over as third base coach. I can only think of about 2 real mistakes he's made over there. He's been outstanding.
I would say for the most part he has erred on the side of aggression and
yes,
pushed it, and it's worked. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I mean, you have to face it, there aren't many great arms in the outfields across the National League anyway, and you can pick out a certain few. Guillen is one of them to right. That's hard hit, but Aaron Boone takes care of it. 2 out. Edgar Renteria took a 2-0 pitch, did well to work the count into his favor. Took a couple of pitches, wasn't too aggressive with the bases loaded, and then he took a pitch on the inside part of the plate on 2-0 and hit a rocket.
I think he was looking for that. I think he cheated a little bit, thinking they were going to come back inside to him, and he was ready to open up a little quicker than normal.
Here's DeFelice. There's strike 1.
See, they're trying to go inside on him, and I think he was cognizant of that and a little quick with the hips. Maybe he backed off the plate ever so slightly, but he was looking for that pitch inside and got it.
Look at the difference between these swings that Marrero and DeFelice have taken against Dempster compared to the ones that Edmonds, Pujols, Martinez, and Renteria took. Very relaxed. Dempster's made Marrero and DeFelice go after bad pitches here. The count's 0-2. Larkin to his left, the high hop, and the inning is over, but not before the Cardinals make it a game to say the least. It was 5-0. Now thanks to that, it's 5-4 after 3. What would tonight's Aflac trivia question be? Who was the last Cardinal pitcher to have 2 hits in 1 inning? Should we exercise the ghost of Donovan Osborne and throw that name out there? Donovan, who was released by the Cubs the other day.
After we found out they didn't know where he was for a couple months, he got released. Maybe I'd ask the wrong question, saying, where's he at?
Telling you. Oh, that caught somebody. Brandon Larson got hit in the face by that foul ball.
Yeah, they have a netting right there, but ball hit that hard, it'll push that netting in, and I'm sure he thought he was being protected, but boy, that's terrible. Hope he's okay.
And this game will come to a stop while they check on Larson.
Well, he's conscious and looking around.
Here we go. Walker gets a base hit into right, and here we go. Leadoff man is on, and Jamie Wright just does not have it tonight. It's good that Walker's attention is back in the dugout, and thankfully Larson appears to be okay. Boy, they hopped on him in a hurry over
yeah,
that
well,
dugout.
I saw some blood on the towel. Look, is it the ear? The side of the face?
Tony La Russa, I think, has had enough of Jamie Wright's start tonight. After getting back in the game, he's not going to let this opportunity slip away again. And Jamie Wright is going to exit here in the 4th inning. So that's a disappointment for Jamie Wright and for the Cardinals, as Molina will come in and pitch. Not the first start at home that Jamie Wright had dreamed about. Pitching change here in the 4th. Well, here's an opportunity for Gabe Molina. Missed chance for Jamie Wright. Could be a golden chance for Gabe Molina, who comes in. There are the numbers this season with a big league club. Had a good year at AAA Memphis, and he was rewarded with a couple of different call-ups, including this one here in September.
Still attending to Brandon Larson.
I don't think he ever went unconscious, but he was staggered by that foul ball that Walker hit at him over in the dugout as he's hanging on to that fencing. He's trying to stay somewhat upright, and you can see him better here.
Yeah, kind of hanging on there, and his teammates and Tim Foley, third base coach, got to him quickly.
Pretty good pitch from Molina for strike one, and we're underway now with a runner at first, nobody out. Larkin at the plate. 5-4 Reds in the fourth. Arizona finally came back and beat LA behind Randy Johnson 7-1, but the NL West is starting to tighten up a little bit. That one got away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Breaking ball that stayed up high over the head of Larkin. He's 4 for 10 in this series. Gary, his 17th year with the Reds, his hometown.
Moeller High School product.
Outstanding athletic family.
From the effectively wild pitch to one on the hands, and Larkin flies to center. 1 on, 1 out.
Can't emphasize enough, Joe, when you get to one of these September call-ups, but when you're in a pennant race, I mean, you not only have a chance to impress your team, but you get a lot of scouts watching these new guys. There's a doctor checking for concussion.
Adam Dunn takes ball 1. Just to talk about it in a practical sense about tonight's game. The Reds, who in a way, even though it's September, were short on their bench last night, probably won't have Larson available for tonight's game. They were so short last night they had to use tonight's starter Dempster as a pinch runner in the 8th inning. That's a double play. Wow. Are you kidding me? You can't hit a ball harder than that. And they'll try to get feeling back in the hand of Tino Martinez. Good night. Dangerous down there. This is in a different category in the Pennzoil protection play. It's protection for your well-being. He didn't just protect Molina, he protected his chest and other parts of his body by catching this line drive.
Yeah, we were talking about charging a line drive, and Tino just found out what it's like. Wow. Smile, Tino.
Well, his teammates were in the dugout. Ivan Cruz is going to come off the bench and bat for Molina, who got through that inning. A loud inning, but got through it and got around that leadoff hit surrendered by Wright. All zeros in 1 inning for Molina, and Hackman will be the new pitcher. That's a luxury to have down there in the bullpen. And here's a guy who had a tremendous year at AAA, Ivan Cruz. Been around for a long time, played in Japan, and hit 35 home runs and knocked in 100 runs at AAA Memphis.
Hit 280. He actually played with Eduardo Perez, same team in Japan. Both of them were hurt a year ago. Eduardo had the knee, Ivan had the shoulder, but this guy has a pedigree of being an outstanding power hitter.
He's built. Big, strong left-handed batter. And it's 3-0. So Tony La Russa is not going to give the Reds and Dempster any freebie outs. He's going to lift Molina for the pinch hitter. And the count's 3-0, and Cruz, would imagine, would take. But you never know. He does, and it's 3-1. Good work by Cruz, and there's the tying run. It's got to be awfully tempting, Al, When you have that kind of year at AAA, you've been around for a long time, you finally get another chance with a big league club, a first place big league club, and you come up to pinch hit, and then you have to lay off pitches and draw a walk. That shows a little bit of discipline.
Yeah, and it's something that he had made 2 previous pinch hit attempts, and both times he rolled over, meaning he had pitches out away from him. He tried to pull it and hit little ground balls to the right side, so that was better. They've talked to him about laying off.
Pena takes high. They're in guarding against the bunt here in the 4th inning. That surprises me a little bit.
That's fine with me. I want this defensive alignment. Let Pena pick a hole and hit it to it. Pitching away. Powder that ball to the left side because Boone's only got 1 step.
There's even less of a chance of a bunt now with a count 2-0. Hackman getting loose, coming off that good start at Wrigley on Saturday, a victory.
Reeling is throwing in the Reds bullpen.
Borderline for strike 1. Pitch count for Dempster up to 64. They are stubborn with keeping Boone in close at 3rd. And continuing to pitch away. It's 3-1.
And you're talking about a guy that's pretty good at just slapping that ball to left field. Hit it hard enough to get it by the drawn in 3rd baseman. And then you got Larkin playing close to the 2nd base bag.
And still now, there's no way he asked Pena to bunt on 3-1 in the 4th inning. Runner goes, ball 4, back-to-back walks, 2 on, nobody out.
Boy, how about that? Tony guessing right with you and said, hey, he's going to throw a strike on 3-1, so he starts the runner.
Here comes Don Gullett with Drew coming up to the plate. This is looking better and better as we go. Our trivia question, brought to you by Aflac, was this: when was the last time a Cardinal pitcher, or who was the last time Cardinal pitcher had 2 hits in 1 inning? And the answer is Bob Forsch. Dustin Hermanson, of course.
Oh, I remember that.
That was his debut.
His first start, right.
April 6th last year at Arizona. Then Hermanson made his first start as a Cardinal in that game in Arizona, and then he made a relief appearance in the playoffs against Arizona. Looked very good in game 4 here in St. Louis. Was warming up, never did pitch in game 5, and then was part of a roundabout way of making trades to free up payroll. He went to Boston. I guess in a way landed Chuck Finley for the Cardinals, because the main piece of property they got, Garcia for Hermanson, was turned into Chuck Finley in a trade with Cleveland. Here's Drew with 2 on and nobody out. Another pop-up. Again had a pitch to hit. I don't mind him swinging at the first pitch with a guy that you know is trying to guide one in the strike zone, but Drew couldn't do anything with it.
Well, I think what you're saying, Joe, is fine, but you've got to get a pitch that you're able to do more than this. Popping it up. And he got an off-speed pitch. He was geared for the fastball, and he popped it up.
So 2 on, 1 out. Here's Edmonds. Edmonds homered last night, drove in 3. Hitless tonight. Didn't mean to, but couldn't hold up.
Jim drove in all 3 of the runs in last night's victory.
That hurt Edmonds. And the count 0-2 as Dempster fights for his pitching life in this inning here in St. Louis.
Watch the front foot. And right above the ankle. All bone right there. No No protection.
Cardinals were handed back-to-back walks. Drew popped up on the first pitch, and it's 2 quick strikes on Edmonds, who was anxious at the plate also.
Got a nice little note from Paul Maryland and Paula McRoy. They're always on the Cardinal cruise, and we apologize, but this was a birthday wish for a sweet lady in Murfreesboro, Illinois, who turned 95 on August 10th. You said you got some Christmas mail. I get this August 10th request for a happy birthday to Lucille Siffert. And she recently has been fell at home, and so we hope she's doing much better. Never missed a Cardinal game. Lucille, happy birthday to late.
The 0-2. Edmonds strikes out. So Dempster is surviving, and it's going to be up to Pujols.
The way Albert has swung the bat the first 2 times tonight, Cardinals will probably take the lead.
Well, the first 2 times up, he has hit screaming line drives. One into right, and then one right back up the middle that Dempster may see again tonight when he closes his eyes and lays his head on his pillow.
See if Pujols can't bring a birthday wish to Kim Eberle.
Good pitch in the inside corner, strike 1.
Kim from Fox Sports Net turned 21 today.
I heard that. 2 on, 2 out. This would be a wonderful job of pitching by Dempster if he could get out of this mess with back-to-back walks to Cruz and Vina, and then take care of Drew, Edmonds, and Pujols to get out of it. Reds clinging to a 1-run lead, and they play Albert to hit it the other way. He plugs a left center field gap. The Cardinals will take the lead, but there are 2 strikes on the Cardinal cleanup man. Should end the inning. It looked promising about 5 minutes ago, but not too good now. 2 on, nobody out. Cardinals now have left 6. We go to the 5th. 5-4 Reds.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the program.
Now, Al, is Walker scoring on that hit by Larkin when the throw by Marrero beat Walker to the plate by 20 feet, but the throw took a hop and skipped past DeFelice. Here's a 2-2. Up the middle, Renteria, Canyon, no chance. Good try, and Guillen's on with an infield hit. He's 2 out of 3. And the crowd appreciates the effort by Edgar.
Getting to that ball, trying to control his body spin and throw, and I think Vina might have gotten in his way a little bit too, as they both were going up the middle on that ball.
Once it got under the glove of Luther Hackman, it was a base hit. Didn't matter what Renteria did. And now Reggie Taylor will bat with LaRue on deck, and the bullpen for the Reds is quiet after they had Riedling throwing last half inning. Another base hit.
Might get back up.
1st and 3rd, 2 out. The batter will be LaRue. So now the Reds have a scoring opportunity, and they ask LaRue for a base hit. You want a goal? You want a goal, eh? There they are. You want a goal, Chaser? You want a goal?
You know what I'd like to do? I'm going to head down to that.
You're on the air, Kelly. Watch
yourself. I got to tell you, I'm having a lot of fun down here at the ballpark.
Yeah, good change of direction there. You got to.
I think we're going to come back and win this one. And
you enjoying your time with Dan? You guys don't spend enough time together during the hockey season?
I'm trying to get away from him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I've been sitting here for about 5 minutes. It's all I can take till the season starts.
The first thing I do in the off season, Kelly, is get that wire removed from the front of your face.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, it's just right down. Just move to your left a little bit so we can see you. There you
Pardon me, ladies. This is where I like to be anyway.
All right, stop talking. First and third, 2 out. And here's LaRue. Well, we may have saved his career there. That's a pretty good pitch. Looked a little low. LaRue didn't like it. Hackman did. Strike one. A .244 average for LaRue. All you damn Yankees fans, as in the musical Damn Yankees. You remember the name LaRue? Petty LaRue. I'm getting a blank stare from the mad Hungarian. The 0-1. Good pitch. Looked like Hackman took something off. It's 0-2.
Well, that's one thing that, as a starter, you can learn and have the opportunity to use more off-speed pitches. Throw change-ups, change speeds off your breaking ball. And then when you go back to the bullpen, you can utilize it.
Now an 0-2 from Hackman with runners at the corners, 2 out here in the 5th. That's a squirter. It's dangerous sitting on that top step of the dugout in front of that screen. Yet, guys, they just don't learn now. They don't learn. They continue to hang over the railing.
Well, it's one of those things where it's a lot of these ballparks, even the new ones, are not really designed to watch a ball game from.
An 0-2 runner at first goes and the inning is over. Good work by Luther Hackman. Back-to-back hits with 2 out, but no damage done. Halfway through it. We're already halfway through it. And it's 5-4 Cincinnati. Explore Cardinal baseball by arriving at the game in your new Ford Explorer. Now with $2,500 cash back or 0% financing for 60 months to qualified buyers. Ford and your quality Ford stores. Your home run to summer fun. Well, we've had a lot of fun already tonight. Let's see if the Cardinals can make something happen in the bottom of the 5th. They did with Rennery at the plate in the bottom of the 3rd. It was 5-0 until Edgar hit a grand slam. Now it's 5-4. Here's Tino Martinez, who helped in that rally with a base hit, scored a run. He's hit 15 home runs. He was trying for number 16 to tie it. Strike one.
How often do you see 2 grand slams in a game?
How about in the same inning by the same guy?
Well, we saw that.
We saw that in L.A.
And against the same pitcher. That was even more incredible.
Pretty well hit to center field. Has he tied it? It is 5-5.
Just one pitch late, Joe.
Climbing all the way back from a 5-0 hole. And Uncle Mo, all the momentum is in that dugout. This is our Nextel direct connect hit.
Second home run of the night for the Cardinals off of Dempster, who's now allowed 25.
Ooh, Edgar. Edgar's getting a little frisky. He was up there trying to pop another one.
If he got the off-speed pitch, look at those numbers. 303 average, 10 home runs, 69 RBIs.
Able to lay off a ball and a strike. There's the mini curtain call from Tino Martinez with 3 guys sitting down by the dugout.
Well, he had a buddy of his at around the batting cage, and he was signaling to him sitting in the family section.
Here's a 1-1. Here's what Edgar did earlier. It was 5-0 before that swing. And it was 5-4 after that swing. And now it's 5-5. 3-1 on Renteria. Nobody on or out. A run home here in the fifth. The old 404-footer from Tino Martinez.
He came home on the grand slam after a base hit, and he was talking about his stroke then, and he's talking about it again now.
Into center field, and diving catch by Reggie Taylor. Good play. 1 out here in the fifth.
Mitchell Page, he's been under the weather, battling the flu, but he's excited about his troops. Coming back from that 5-0 deficit, Joe, that's what you got to do.
Eli Marrero didn't get it. 2 out. Coming into today, we give you our Auto Tire League leaders. Total hits among National League teams. The Cardinals are number 3. They have 6 on the night. The Dodgers have already played today, so they're still out in front of the Cardinals. Although I'm sure not by much, facing Randy Johnson.
Yeah, and they only got 1 run, so it couldn't be too many hits.
The Cardinals may be number 2 in the league before the end of the night.
Well, how about job Mitch has done? Not only are they hitting the ball and getting base hits, but the other side of it, they're the best in the National League at the fewest strikeouts.
Big fastball from the right-hander Dempster, strike 1. The Dodgers, we understand, had 3 hits today, so the Cardinals are a couple behind them, and like to think they'll be in front of him by the end of the night. Boone to his left. That will take care of 5 innings. 5 innings complete, 5-5 the score. This made it that way. Number 16 from Tino. This portion of Cardinal baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Jack in the Box, where we don't make it till you order it. By your local St. Louis area Kia dealers. It's about time everyone had a well-made car. And by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, St. Louis's #1 choice for tires and automotive service. Let's check in with Dan McLaughlin.
Thank you, Joe. Here with Joe Strauss of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and we talk about resilient teams down 5-0, tied up 5-5, but resiliency probably best describes this team this year.
Well, it has all season, and it's going to probably work that way this month for them to maintain this lead. They've still got guys on the disabled list, bullpen starters, and the offense is going to have to step up for a little while, I think, and we've seen some of that tonight.
Is this the best job that you've seen with Tony La Russa, the job that he's been able to pull off along with Walt Jocketty? And I know you spent a number of years in the American League.
Well, in the American League, he had so-called dynasty teams, and I don't think any team he's had in St. Louis could compare to the mess that has happened here this season. So I think if you asked Tony that, he'd probably say, yeah, it's been his best job, and I don't think anybody who's seen him operate for a number of years would disagree with that.
What's your gut feeling with this team down the stretch? Are they the team to beat in the Central?
I think they have to be. I think for them not to win the division, they're going to have to collapse against the Astros. The magic number is still 20-something, but realistically, I think it's probably 3. If they win 3 of the 7 against the Astros, barring a collapse otherwise, I think you have to like their chances.
We were talking about Albert Pujols prior to the game tonight as a possible MVP candidate. If you had to make your vote right now, would he be your guy, or would you look at Bonds or some of the others? Green, I guess, comes to mind as well.
I think you got to look at Bonds with just the sheer, the weight of his numbers is unreal. I mean, there's a historic weight to his numbers, but if you look at it in the context of a team that would be in the playoffs and what he's done when it's counted, Albert Pujols has to receive strong considerations. There are very few of his RBIs have been cheap RBIs this year, and I think anybody that's been watching the last month would be impressed by that.
And finally, Joe, if the playoffs started today, we might see Arizona go head-to-head with the Cardinals again. How do you like that matchup for St. Louis?
I don't like a matchup for anybody with Arizona right now. I mean, they're probably the best team in the league, and given the Cardinals' injury situation, they would be the thinnest team in the playoffs, in my opinion. I mean, their lineup looks good, but pitching, you wonder in the matchups, and it's going to take a lot to go right for the Cardinals to beat them, even in a best of 5, I think.
Enjoy your work this year. Thank you.
Hey, enjoyed it, Dan.
That is Joe Strauss. Joe, back to you.
All right, Dan. Juan Castro was the pinch hitter. They worked the count full, and then Hackman gave up the blue pitch. So Castro pinch hitting for Dempster, who went 5, allowed 5 runs on 6 hits. The ball came back on Edmonds, who's a little gimpy after that foul ball he took off his foot earlier in the game. Now we'll see if the Reds want to bunt. They were waiting for the Cardinals to bunt earlier. Walker at the plate. Strike 1 on the outside part.
So that hit by Castro is now 7 for his last 13. Remember, he had that big failed bunt opportunity last night.
Over but low. Yeah, the pop-up. Talked to Tony La Russa after that play. He said the ball could have been short-hopped. The Cardinals were thinking along those lines. But that would have taken away all the drama of Steve Kline striking out both Larkin and Boone with men on and a chance for the Reds to take the lead. Might be. Good play. A tag and a throw. Double play. I don't think, Al, there's anybody better when a ball leads Vigna to a runner going from first to second than Fernando at handling that particular play.
Unless he gets run over by
Albert Bell.
Albert Bell. But there he is. He gets that lead runner to commit. He tries to submarine. He tags him. Or we've seen other times where he'll get that guy to stop, get the first out at first base, and then they'll get the guy out at second. But that time he was able to do it himself.
Here's Larkin. 2 out, nobody on now. This is just an entirely different feel to this game. And forget just the scoring, but the Cardinals are on an upswing, and the Reds are wondering if they're going to squander what was at one point a 5-0 lead. These two teams, Al, have had 2 games this year where big leads have been blown on each side. The game on a Sunday in Cincinnati when the Cardinals came back, and the next time the Reds were in St. Louis on a Sunday when the Reds came back and beat Jason Isringhouse.
Right. Remember, JD was instrumental in coming back from 8-0 in that game in Cincinnati.
0-2 to Larkin. 2 good innings from Luther Hackman. He is due to lead off in the bottom of this 6th inning. We'll see if the Cardinals pinch hit. Most likely. It's 5-5. The hot hitter with smooth base running is the Ford Focus with $1,500 cash back and low 0% financing for 60 months. The qualified buyers, that makes it a winner. Ford in your quality Ford stores. Your home run to summer fun. Beautiful night. Temperature is way down compared to last night. Mid-80s. Eduardo Perez will be the pinch hitter, and Bruce Chen will be the pitcher guy here in the bottom of the 6th inning in a 5-5 game.
This is the 3rd team for Bruce Chen this year. Started with the Mets, then went to Montreal, now over to Cincinnati. He's appearing in a career high 47th game.
Everybody swinging for a home run.
Well, this guy has 3 pinch hit home runs on the year.
Oh, 0-2. What about against Bruce Chen?
1 hit, it's a home run. It was a solo shot.
I think so, if memory serves. Here's an 0-2 pitch. Perez leading off, and Chen went through him easy. Luther Hackman did a nice job. Nice to have him back in the bullpen. That's a lift.
2 real good innings. 3 strikeouts. Could have almost seen with his spot due up first that he could have maybe stayed in this ball game, pitched a little bit that way. I think they liked so much what they saw, they wanted him available soon. Op day, be ready for the Chicago series.
With 1 out, Vina takes, I guess, a little high. The Reds will have Dunn, Boone, and Brandy, and a couple of lefties in there. So they'll go, the Cardinals will, to Facero. 1 out, nobody on, the 1-0 pitch. Boy, is Tony La Russa happy to have Jeff Facero, not just by the work that he's giving him, but when you talk to him, he is thrilled that Walt Jocketty pulled off that deal. 1-2.
They had been trying to get a left-hander, and everyone that they sought after did not clear waivers. Facero did, and I think Jeff was happy from Springfield, Illinois, started in the Cardinal organization, come all the way back home.
To the right side, and Shen will make the out at first, and now the Cardinals are going to go to Scott Rowland and take Drew out of the game. Let's listen to the dugout.
Get there! Get there!
Practice that in the middle of February. Ground ball to the right side. Get there. Get over. This is an odd move. Instead of saving Rowland for that perfect spot later in the game and losing Drew for the rest of the night when some of their big guns are right-handed in their bullpen, unless there's something wrong with Drew, and it didn't look like it. Rowland's going to hit a home run if it stays fair. Is it gone? Yep. Cardinals lead. I guess it was the right move. 6-5 in the 6th.
Set the world record rounding the bases too.
Set the world record for leaving the on-deck circle, seeing a pitch, hitting a home run, and getting back to the dugout. Take Tony La Russa to Vegas.
That was Scott Rowland's first pinch hit appearance of the year, and he makes it a memorable one.
Only his 4th ever. He's good coming off the bench, Al.
Oh yeah.
He's the secret weapon. Home run or not, I'll still stick with what I said, that you're taking Drew out in the 6th inning of what was a tie game. I mean, that's, if nothing else, a gamble. Because that's a big left-handed bat you're losing.
It is, but there's often times when Tony makes a move like that, there is a legitimate reason for it. So with 2 outs, you almost wonder, well, why didn't you send up Cairo or somebody else along what you're thinking?
2 outs, nobody on, not really an RBI, obviously not an RBI situation. And yet Tony La Russa went right to really his biggest bat off the bench. He's used 2 pinch hitters in this inning, 1 back in the 4th. And you can do some of these things a little more with the expanded rosters. Tony was banking on lightning in a bottle and a quick strike, and I'll say it was a quick strike. Rowland left the on-deck circle, stepped in, saw 1 pitch. Career pinch hitting, only 2 for 4, and the home run puts the Cards on top.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the program.
It was surprising that Boone didn't swing at the 3-2 pitch, or that it wasn't called a strike.
Ranyan a threat at the plate, trying to launch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cerro, who took over for the injured Tom Gordon with the Cubs and was their closer a couple seasons ago.
It was last year, wasn't it, Joe? I want to say it was last year, and set a record for the Cubs for saves by a left-hander in April.
Would it kill us to get a bio on Jeff Fassero? Do we have one? One on, one out, 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's a 2-ball, 1 strike pitch to Branyan. It'll be tough to turn 2. Good play by Tino Martinez to get the lead man. Covered a lot of ground, 2 out.
That's like Chuck Finley's.
Chuck Finley's bio?
Yeah.
I don't want it.
You don't want it? He's left-handed. There you see. Nice stab, and his only play is the lead runner, and that's most important. Bounce it off here. Backhanding the ball. He's got his momentum going that way, and so good play to get the lead man. And once again, you get the speedier runner off the base.
Fassero did go from the Cardinal organization to the White Sox and then hit it pretty big with Montreal. He's even been to the point where he was signed by Boston and it never really panned out for him. That was in '99.
With Seattle before Boston.
Cleveland as well, so he's got a nice collection of jerseys hanging in a den somewhere. One on, 2 out, no balls, 1 strike. Jose Guillen. 0-2.
Jeff Fassero is a left-handed. He's got a heartbeat, and he's got a breaking ball. So he is still much in demand.
Same qualifications that kept Tony Fawcett around for a long time. Is he breathing? Roll him out there. Here's an 0-2 to Guillen. Instead, a check on Branyan, who had a negative lead. He was on the other side of the bag when Fassero threw over there. Branyan smiling about Fassero throwing over there. That was his lead when he threw over. Should end the inning. High hop, flip, and let's go to the bottom of the 7th. Cardinals have come back, down 5-0, lead 6-5. Time to stretch. And now for a look at today's national news headlines. Let's go to the Fox Network Center.
Congratulations to Mark Power, today's merchandise prize winner in the Hyundai Long Drive Inning Sweepstakes. If a Cardinal hits a home run in the 7th, Mark Power will qualify for the grand prize for a Hyundai Santa Fe at the end of the season. Register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer to complete an entry form. Well, we've had some winners the last few games, and Mark is one of them. New pitcher. Albert Pujols will be facing Scott Sullivan, who's trying to become the first pitcher ever to lead the Reds in appearances for 5 consecutive seasons. This is his 66th appearance. Gets a lot of innings. This is a sidewinder who, I don't know how his arm, I don't think he can get his arm up anymore.
No. He brushes his teeth sidearm. But I guess most of us do. Heard that Brandon Larson was taken to Barnes Jewish Hospital for an MRI and CAT scan to make sure he's okay. We got a shot of him, Al, and you noticed it. I didn't really see it. When he finally got up between innings and tried to walk off, his step was staggered, and hopefully he's okay after getting hit by that foul ball hit by Walker back in the 4th. Here's a 1-1 to Pujols, hitting .307. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Albert, 2 hits tonight. Cards up 6-5. No action for the Cardinals in their bullpen right now, so Fassero may go out for another inning. A rocket into left field. Dunn won't get it. Short hops the wall, and Pujols is going to test the arm and make it. Standing up, third hit of the night.
Not too sure he didn't break his bat, but it still jumped over the head of the left fielder Dunn. And there you see it didn't sound good. Runs hard. He doesn't have the greatest speed, but he's always hustling. And a stand-up double to lead off here in the 7th inning.
Be interested to see a closer replay if we had it of him going around the first base bag.
Think he missed it?
I'm just raising the possibility.
Throw a pitch.
Martinez with a runner at second, nobody out. Tino homered his last time up, 2 out of 3 tonight. His average is starting to creep up. He's at 264. This ought to be a perfect guy for Martinez to reach. Most lefties do well against sidewinding right-handers. Good pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The reason that being is they have a pretty good look at his release point.
Who should be the first lefty out of the pen on the virtual manager question? He agreed with Facero, and Cardinals like it so much. Looks like he's going out there for another inning. A 1-1 to Tino. 2 balls and a strike with Renteria on deck. It is assuming that Facero's spot in the order doesn't come up, which isn't that far away.
Jose Silva and Scott Williamson, pair of right-handers up in the Reds bullpen.
5-4 the last time Tino batted until he did that. Now it's 6-5 Cardinals. Martinez at least wants to advance the runner. Good job to lay off that pitch. By the way, Houston and San Diego, they're underway now. No score after an inning and a half in San Diego. Oakland trying to win their 20th consecutive game. Well on their way. Amazing. 3-2 pitch.
I heard the other day that the Oakland's big 3 starters are making combined about $2 million this year.
And they're all locked up.
And they're all locked up for next year.
And beyond. They're all.
And Lytle, their 4th guy, who has been outstanding too in this stretch run.
5-0.
With one earned run in the month of August.
Another 3-2 pitch to Martinez. Base hit. Albert will come home. The throw by Guillen too late. 7-5 Cardinals. 3rd hit of the night for Martinez.
That's a big insurance run right there. Tino, 3 hits. Remember, including his home run tonight. This looks like it just gets over the glove of the first baseman. I thought yes, he did nick it. And I think that's what Oquendo read, because, you know, he's kind of on orders not to really push Pujols because of that groin. But I think when he saw that the first baseman nicked it, he knew that it would slow it up for the right fielder.
Now Renteria, who has 4 RBIs tonight. Cardinals lead by 2. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Gets away. Martinez will go to 3rd and hold. Down to 2nd, Renteria. Should be a hit and an error.
Absolutely. He was past the bag before the errant throw. And that's what it is. Base hit, E1. Look at that. Catches it perfect. Drops it down there. Checked the runner at 2nd and then threw wide at 1st. He's running hard. Don't look. Don't look. Now look.
And now with 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. They're going to walk Marrero and load him up for DeFelice and or somebody off the Cardinal bench. Although that bench is awfully thin right now. Not a bad move here at all. And we'll see if DeFelice does indeed hit, or if they go to the bench. The Cardinals have already used Cruz, Perez, and Rowland off their bench. They have Kerry Robinson there. They have Cairo there. They have Delgado there and Matheny. That'll load him up, and DeFelice will hit. Lock in now and get a membership to the 2003 Cardinals Crew Kids Club at 2002 prices. Visit the family pavilion at Busch Stadium for more information on how to be the first in the club next season, or call 421-3060. Members will get 3 free game tickets, invitation to a members only autograph party, newsletters, great gifts, and more. A great birthday and holiday gift as well. It's a great value and a gift that keeps giving all year long. You should sign up now for next year. Goodbye to Sullivan. He did not retire a man and committed an error. Bases loaded for DeFelice when we come back. Well, DeFelice was called back late after this pitching change, and it's obvious, Al, the Cardinals are going for broke here in the 7th inning to bust it open. The advanced auto division standings, Cardinals up by 4 over the Astros. This could be a huge victory if the Cardinals can hang on tonight. The Reds are 10 out, and then the rest of the division way away. But throw this up on the board. I'm sure Houston was paying attention early and saw the 5-0 lead by the Reds. If they're looking at the scoreboard now as they play out in San Diego, they're thinking, what the heck happened?
Well, that's it, Joe, and that is the advantage if you play a game earlier than your opponent. And if you can win, boy, it just sends a momentum and sends a sinking feeling to them. Here you see Scott Williamson, big strikeout guy, and that is probably part of the thinking of bringing him in, other than the fact that Sullivan, a very reliable reliever, was not good here tonight.
So Facero will be finished as Cairo's in the on-deck circle. Right now, with the bases loaded, nobody out, St. Louis and Kerry Robinson will try to add to a 7-5 7th inning lead. Good job by Facero yet again. Well, we'll save that for the moment and look at Robinson. Number 0. Said, how do you like the switch? He said, I haven't played since I changed to number 0. Well, he gets a golden opportunity here. Right on top of the plate. That almost got away. That was a tester for Jason LaRue.
Well, Williamson afterwards trying to wipe the perspiration off his hand. That's why they have the rosin bag.
Infield is in for the play at the plate. A little slicer that will drop foul. One of the reasons why Robinson is up here instead of Cairo is with that speed. There are a lot of things that can produce a run, and with the bases loaded, nobody out, that speed could help you avoid a double play.
That's right. See his pinch hitting average. He's 4th in the National League with 12 pinch hits, and he has 5 hits in his last 12 pinch hitting appearances.
Late on a 96-mile-an-hour pitch, and it's 1-2. Williamson trying to keep the Reds in the game. The Cardinals will need a new pitcher, and that new pitcher will be Steve Klein, it appears, when they take the field in the 8th. Everybody standing, top stepping it, watching.
Barring a triple play, we'll need that new pitcher.
Robinson staying alive. If he could turn on a pitch from Williamson, pull it down the right field line, Robinson would circle the bases. Seen this before.
Good at bat for Carey. And the more you stay up there, foul off pitch after pitch, the more tendency a pitcher will make a mistake.
If ever a guy was set up for something other than the fastball, it'd be right now.
He's got a good split finger, and in 21 games since the All-Star break, Williamson has posted a 1.32 ERA.
That doesn't get far enough away, but I don't think Williamson trusts any pitch but the fastball. That breaking ball did nothing.
We'll have to see. Trying to keep everything away, but coming inside now.
Good work by Robinson not to go after that. The count's full.
Boy, that is absolutely correct, Joe. Get that ball up around your eyes. Your tendency is to automatically swing at it, and he does everything he can to keep his hands back.
See if number 0 can deliver here in the pinch.
Here's a Geico moment. Look at the crowd on their feet now. You know, they used to be Kodak moments. Now they're Geico moments.
Where is Marion Hartley when you need her? Three balls, 2 strikes. One out.
Good splitter there. Good at bat. But Williamson wins this bat. There you see the bottom falling out of it.
Best pitch of that at bat. He saved it for a 3-2 delivery, and now Miguel Cairo is one of the best in the league at coming off the bench. Will hit, but only after a visit. Bob Boone and the infielders come in. Pissarro, 1 inning, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. No runs or hits. Klein will be next. And again, an off day tomorrow, so the Cardinal bullpen can be emptied. This was more a meeting for the infielders than it was for Williamson. Coming up after the game, the Midwest Sports Report, 30 minutes of nightly sports news dedicated to the home teams throughout the Midwest. I wonder if they'll talk about the Rams tonight. Chris Pronger skating already. Rams report with opening day coming up this Sunday, and a complete post-game coverage from this one, which will include, we know, 2 grand slams. Here's Cairo batting with the bases loaded here in the 7th.
Well, you're right, Joe. They really talked about the infield strategy. Up the middle, they'll play back double play depth. Corners will be in. They'll come to the plate more than likely.
Good pitch.
Good splitter. Remember, he had the Tommy John surgery after winning the National League Rookie of the Year in '99. Last year he had Tommy John surgery.
Cairo trying to make contact and make it a 3, 4, 5, or 6 run lead. No balls, 2 strikes. Williamson doing exactly what he needed to do so far. He got 1 strikeout. He has Cairo set up for another.
You're a reliever. You come in with these bases loaded situations. Frequently, you get the first guy out and you get ahead of the next guy. You may not know, and if you can retire him, you may not know how you're going to get the third guy what you get out of it. Cairo is second in the National League with 16 pinch hits. He's got a .314 batting average as a pinch hitter and 6th best in RBIs with 8.
This inning started with a double by Pujols. Martinez drove him home with a base hit to right. A bunt hit and an error at the bat of Renteria. An intentional pass to Marrero. And a strikeout of Robinson. And now a 1-2 to Cairo. Wow. Just outside, 2-2.
It looked like it was a fastball that looked like it was just outside. They're setting up there looking for a perfect pitch, and it's outside. A tough pitch to take.
Williamson is throwing the heck out of the ball.
That was 95, and then his splitter is 10 miles an hour or less.
Back-to-back strikeouts, and Williamson might just bring the Reds back in this game, doing it from the mound. But there's one guy left for the Cardinals and for Williamson, and that'll be Vigna after this.
Almost like a slider, and got underneath it and just had enough movement that Cairo swung through it. There's Ray Knight. I was talking with Nancy Lopez, his wife, before the game, saying Ray's been suffering from kidney stones. So no golf today.
See if Vigna can get more in this inning. Be a big hit if he could find it. What work by Williamson. Cardinals went for broke in this 7th inning and come up with no more than a total of 1 run, which they had before Williamson came in. What a lift that should be for the Reds.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the program.
Up and Larkin to follow. Any more after that, Adam Dunn. So Cardinals trying to hang on. At one point, at the bottom of the 7th, it looked like they would bust it open, and now the lead is in jeopardy.
Well, we got our double play in order now.
See if Walker will do his part.
Didn't want to tell Steve he already had it in order, but
right. Pretty much tell Steve anything. Todd Walker. Ball 1. This guy's popped 8 home runs. Fell out of favor in a hurry in Minnesota. He's been a good player.
And he and Tom Kelly didn't see eye to eye.
Sent Walker out after a pretty good start to his career. He was in the minor leagues. And we first saw him when he shifted leagues and went to Colorado.
And then came over last season to Cincinnati.
Go ahead run at the plate. Now in the hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Pokey Reese, who took an adventure last offseason, didn't he?
I'll say.
Did his stock drop?
There are the runners aboard. Tying runs are on. 7-5 in the 8th and the 1-2. Should be handled by Pujols. 2 out. The runners retreat. And it'll be up to Larkin.
That ball carried a lot further than what I thought.
I believe that ball went that far.
I mean, I thought Pujols was going to have to come in 15, 20 feet. He went back 20 or 30.
Todd Walker evidently using one of Howard Johnson's old bats.
We still have the same X-ray.
Hopefully the equipment has been upgraded since then. Well, it's 2 on with 2 out. Barry Larkin at the plate. You know what he's capable of doing. Just about anything with a bat in his hands. He hits home runs. He drives in runs. Everyone dead straight away for Larkin, who sees Klein for the 2nd night in a row. And Klein again jumping out in front.
So will Barry Larkin be hurt by the offensive explosion of today's shortstops, particularly the American League's Big Four?
Talking about the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Well, it's a different position now. Ripken was really the first big-bodied shortstop that proved he could play every day, hit home runs, and now you get a guy like Alex Rodriguez who's just off the charts.
Off the charts, huh? Catching on, aren't you?
2 on, 2 out, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Klein, wow, what's that? That gave everybody a scare. Vini was going to go to first, and then at the end saw Renteria standing there and said, oh, okay. Good work by Klein. Cardinals still lead by 2.
Hey, Cardinal fans, every Friday during the season there is Busch Bash at the ballpark. Come down early, win tickets for that game, that night's games, and enjoy the live music, barbecue, and a Busch or easy drinking Busch Light. Outside gate 7 in the shadows of the Stan Musial. That's the statue of Stan. He doesn't come out here every Friday. At the Southwest Airlines Family Pavilion, it's the great pregame party every Friday from 5 p.m. to 7, courtesy of Busch Beer. Come join the fun at the ballpark. For tickets, call 421-3060 or log on to stcardinals.com. Well, Scott Rowland, he got the Cardinals. He broke a 5-5 tie when he pinch hit and hit a home run. He'll face a new pitcher now, Joey Hamilton, who's been in their bullpen and has pitched very well of late. Really has come up with an outstanding changeup that he learned from his former teammate Trevor Hoffman in San Diego. Scott Rowland did not start this game. Hit his 22nd home run to break the 5-5 take. Joey Hamilton has broken off a couple curveballs, but the other night when he came in, he looked very impressive and maybe finding a home in the bullpen.
Going hard. I mean, how many guys have made that jump? There's Oakland on their way to win number 20.
That's good news too in San Diego.
This could be one of those big nights you look back on. Cardinals down 5-0 after 2. Houston playing out in San Diego. A long way away from the Cardinals winning this and San Diego winning their game, but be nice to enjoy an off day tomorrow with a 5-game lead. 3-1 pitch. Rowland takes a leadoff walk. Our play of the game brought to you by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with a crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. How about a pinch hit? Home run. Go ahead shot off the screen, attached to the fair pole down the left field line.
It was off of Bruce Chin and curtain call. Let's hope that is the game-winning base hit. Cardinals lead by 2, but a few insurance runs wouldn't hurt.
That's what Klein and/or Veers and/or La Russa. Now Edmonds is hit. He's had a painful night. Didn't hit him square, but glanced off him after fouling a ball off his right ankle or foot. He will be soaking in a hot tub tomorrow in the off day. Just clipped him on the right arm.
Anything for a team, huh?
That's right. Where's Estes? Huh? Did he lean into that one? Charging Vina with that. I don't blame. I mean, you know, that is part of the rules. I mean, you do have to make a concerted attempt to get out of the way. We're not talking about that with Edmonds. Nothing he could do. But we've seen it called before.
But you saw what Sean's comments were. He said it aggravates me, but I sure would like that effort from my own team.
Might as well try it. The worst that can happen is it's called a ball.
And now Don Gullett has Joey Hamilton walked the first man, hit the second one, and now has fallen behind an Albert Pujols.
Looked like Hamilton's trying to throw it through a wall. 94 miles an hour on that last pitch, but no idea where it's going. 2 on, nobody out for Pujols. He's already gotten 3 hits tonight. This fall, get your NFL fix a day earlier with the most outrageous, unpredictable NFL pregame show. Now it's on Saturday night. The NFL show on Fox Sports Net with Michael Irvin, Tony Siragusa, comedian Tommy Davidson. So you can get your jump on what's going to happen the next day on Saturday night. That's brought to the folks by the U.S. Postal Service this Saturday. Fox Sports Net, their debut. 2 on for Albert. Base hit. Rolen will come to the plate as Guillen kicked it in right, and the Cardinals lead by 3. Oquendo was going to hold him until Jose Guillen could not make the connection.
Well, that's why you always pay attention to that third base coach. Be alert, and even if he gives you an initial stop sign, another scorcher hit out to right. Here's what you're talking about. Guillen didn't come up with it cleanly. And see, he's mad at himself. Another error. That's the first of the year by Guillen. Let's watch Scott Rolen, a good base runner. And you saw him come to the bag. He was watching Oquendo, who was down the line. Initially, he was going to hold him at third. But then when he saw the miscue, the bobble there, he sent him on home with a big, big third insurance run, as the Cardinals just have 3 outs to get.
Here's another guy with a big night. There are a lot of hitters that'll tell you after a visit from a pitching coach with a guy who can't throw strikes, stand up there and look for a fastball, and Pujols smoked another one into right. 4-hit night. 3 tonight for Martinez, including a home run, an RBI single, and 2 runs scored.
Oh, that's like we were talking about when JD swung at the first pitch after a couple walks. It wasn't so much. It's just that you've got to hit the ball harder than popping it up.
To the right side. And it's a productive out from Martinez as Edman goes to third. He's there with only 1 out. First and third. Renteria coming up.
Hey, big happy 21st birthday to Tammy Dombrowski. I know when we turned 21, we were watching Cardinal baseball.
I probably was. No, I wasn't. First and third for Renteria, who has 2 hits tonight. At both ends of the spectrum, a grand slam and a bunt single. Ball 1.
Now they're playing defensively, kind of bunching them in the outfield. Double play depth up the middle.
To the right side. That will get a run home, maybe. Safe, and the Cardinals lead by 4. And Edmonds had to go into LaRue and comes up limping after that collision.
Did he drop the ball? It's not a forced play, and maybe he just didn't tag him.
Yeah, I thought he got in under the tag, and Edmonds has had enough for one night.
Here, a nice play by Russell Branyan. From his knees, he fires home, and yeah, he is safe. Good call. Bill Welke, the home plate umpire, his leg hit home plate ahead of the tag.
Fielder's choice, RBI. Cardinals lead by 4. Still only 1 out. Runners at first and second, and Marrero chops it foul.
5 RBIs on the night for Renteria, 70 on the year.
Middle of the order's done the big damage. Pujols, Martinez, and Renteria.
First ever 4-hit game for Pujols. Career high RBIs for Renteria with 5.
Wow, that's dropped by Larkin. They'll get the out at second. That's it. Tino Martinez has seen 2 line drives come at him. One off the bat of Adam Dunn when he was playing first, And this one almost got him from Eli Marrero.
I think that Martinez really kind of screens Larkin too. That's why he didn't come up with the ball cleanly, but he chases it down and gets the force out of Renteria. See him bouncing off. He's right in the way of Larkin. And Tino, dodgeball. Tino back on the playground.
Now he will lead away tentatively from third base as Matheny bats. First and third, 2 out. Cardinals lead by 4. Up the middle. Cardinals lead by 5. 10-5. 10 unanswered runs scored by the Cardinals tonight.
Cardinals have definitely taken over second place in the hits over Los Angeles. Wilson Delgado, the last bench player, is ready to pinch hit, but it looks like it'll be against a new pitcher.
So Delgado will bat for Klein, who has another nice night. Got around an infield hit and a hit batsman. Maintain the lead, and we'll have another pitcher. Cardinal debut for Delgado here in the 8th coming up. 10-5, and the Cardinals aren't finished yet. They hope. Bottom of the 8th. College football Saturday presented by Kyocera returns to Fox Sports Net this week with a triple-header. Fresno State and Oregon. San Diego State visits 7th-ranked Colorado Buffaloes. Then the nightcap, the Colorado State Rams battle the Bruins from UCLA. Coverage begins Saturday with a college football Saturday kickoff show at 10:30 a.m. Central Time right here on Fox Sports Net. Here's the new pitcher, Chris Rietsma, who takes over with 2 on, 2 out, and will face Wilson Delgado in his Cardinal debut. Broken bat. Walker. And the inning comes to a close. Cards will need a new pitcher when they take the field in the 9th. Last meeting with Cincinnati for the year, and the Cardinals lead at 10-5. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Net, brought to you tonight by Budweiser, who salutes America's designated drivers. We all make a difference. Big night tonight for the Cardinals. Their bench has been emptied. You've got 3 starting pitchers. There's Cairo, who's made an out in this game. He's unavailable for the rest of the night. And Dave Veers is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th, and hopefully final pitcher of the night for the Cardinals.
Well, it's not a save situation. He picked up number 4 last night. He leads the team relievers in appearances and holds. That save last night was the 48th as a Cardinal and 94th of his career. 5 runs to work with here, and hopefully the Cardinals will be able to pick up a game on Houston.
Here's Adam Dunn leading off the 9th inning. Nice to have him lead off. Skies one into right. First pitch swinging, and it should be the first out. Marrero. 1 away. Dunn is hitless on the night. For a look at what is coming your way on the Midwest Sports Report, let's head to the studio.
Thanks, guys. Here is what's coming up after the game. Jim Hayes goes one-on-one with the Rams starting fullback Chris Hetherington. And we'll preview the Rams as we break down both sides of the football with Bernie Miklasz and Howard Balzer. We'll see you right after the game. Now back to Joe and Al.
This time the Cardinals will see Aaron Boone during the 2002 season. The Reds will exit. Jamie Wright, who started this game hours ago, still in the dugout watching, cheering on his new teammates. 0-2 the count. Veers sharp last night. So far so good tonight.
See Woody Williams, Steve Klein right there talking to him and counseling him. Well, there's a lot of baseball being talked by those starting pitchers.
Talked to Woody Williams last night. I know you talked to him today. He wasn't perfect last night, but I think he came out of last night's game encouraged by how he felt overall. He said there were only a couple times, he told you, I know, where he wanted to make sure it didn't grab on him again, even though it was obvious that he wasn't totally healthy when he was pitching.
Yeah, he said that nothing really bothered him, but there were a couple times he said he altered his motion, and pretty much after he'd throw a pitch, what we saw was a little different motion, and he said he did that on purpose to make sure it didn't grab. He kind of walked towards the mound or walked towards the batter a little bit, didn't want to have that recoil and where he could pull the rib.
Talked to Matheny after the game, and he said, I felt the same way. He just didn't look comfortable. He said, but I guarantee you, if that thing's pulled again, you can't sneeze, let alone throw a ball 90 miles an hour. Boone still playing. He has a one-out base hit to right. Got a nice note from Peggy Probst, one from Al Campbell. A lot of nice people out there that have sent beautiful letters, cards, my family's way this year. 1 on, 1 out for Russell Branyan. Gave up a pretty good prospect in Broussard to get him from Cleveland. Indians are happy to have Broussard, and Branyan, after a real hot start with Cincinnati, has settled on a .245 average with 10 home runs. Cardinals give second base to Boone, so he was taking it, but he'll have to come back on the foul ball.
That run doesn't mean a thing, so he's trying to get as big a lead as he possibly can.
They check down to third, 1 ball, 1 strike. You can hear Matheny call for the check. He asked that of Bill Welke, the home plate umpire, and he sent it down to Mark Wegner at third. 1 ball, 1 strike. Strike 2. Never did hear in attendance tonight. Maybe Tim Garcia has it. 25,000, a little above, so it is a touch smaller than last night, which they announced at 26.
Oh, I think we're going to see a big crowds. Look at that Oakland, 11-0.
I think a few people will be here over the weekend.
I'm not too sure how many from Chicago.
Still 1 and 2, so Oakland's going to win 20 in a row. And the Padres lead 2-0 in the 5th at home over Houston.
On the other side, the Mets last night lost the first game of a doubleheader, and that was 15 consecutive home losses. They did win the nightcap.
So they had no chance at the major league record, which is held by the St. Louis Browns. 1-2 pitch. Got him. Good fastball. 2 out.
Well, there's a lot of guess hitters, and when you guess wrong on a fastball, you know you're not going good.
So the Reds down to their final out, and I know you talked about it earlier. The Reds are hopeful of coming in here and making up some ground, then taking advantage of their schedule the rest of the way. How about tonight? This is a frustrating way for them to leave St. Louis, blowing a 5-0 lead. Wow, what a play by Edgar. Cardinals win it 10-5. And I guess it's fitting that Renteria made the final play on a sensational pickup to his left. What a night. 10-5 win. We'll be back with a complete post-game report. Now it's time for the Midwest Sports Tonight. Let's send it to the studio.